So we're 2 weeks into what has been an amazing crisis that we've seen just engulf the world. We've watched the government make some monumental spending decisions. I'm thinking VAT deferrals, rates deferrals, PAYE deferrals, mortgage holidays for individuals, 300 billion of soft loans, grants to companies, help for self-employed, furloughing staff. I gather from the British Chambers of Commerce survey that over half of the businesses in the country are going to consider furloughing up to 75% of their staff this next week. That is phenomenal. We at Business West have seen 5,000 nearly websites just today on our current trading through coronavirus. That's the order of magnitude more than we normally get. So something is happening, but there are gaps in all this. I admire and I'm impressed by the pace of the policy, the government's interventions, but there are gaps. And the team at Business West are helping to identify those things like workspace tenants. They can't get rates relief. They can't get the small grants. Company directors and self-employed are finding themselves in the gaps. So there are gaps. But the real challenges, to be honest, are in the execution and the delivery of this. By that, I mean the local authorities getting the rate support out, the grants out. Just this week, they're starting to get those letters out. This is like 2 weeks after it's announced. And this could take 3 weeks in some local authority areas. Small businesses, in the meantime, are going to the wall for want of this small cash. Banks, bless them, bucket loads of money and support guarantees, but they're just slow in getting it out, or they misinterpreted it, or they've tried to take commercial advantage of it by giving commercial loans first. I picked up a stat that I think over 130,000 applications for coronavirus interruption loans have been made, and only 900 odd have been actually agreed. That's less than 1%. So the banks have a lot to answer for, and they need to pull their fingers out. Some of the changes made yesterday will help for the Chancellor in terms of personal guarantees and allowing the banks not to sell their commercial products first. So let's see next week. But in the meantime, we know that companies are going to the wall, and we need to be mindful of that. So Business West, our role is threefold really. It's helping to explain the offer, making sure it's explicable and gets out there to as many companies as possible. Providing feedback to government on what's not working and where the gaps are. Understanding the impact. There are some supply chain horror stories I'm picking up where companies can't get the supply and they then can't supply the big company, and it's all falling apart for want of a nail, as the old poem goes. And then convening and helping our members, providing expertise where we can, getting them to do PPE equipment, supplies, that kind of stuff. So we've got our sleeves rolled up and right to the heart of this. Couple of thoughts on the long term, however. Couple of long-term thoughts. This is going to cost, someone has to pay this taxation down the line. Either taxation or inflation is going to run riot. I think we need to be super mindful that we're going to pay for this somewhere, or our kids are, our grandchildren are. And the other thing that strikes me is the changes, the environment that will create this. There will be winners and losers. I think, thinking of the winners, there were losers, particularly office blocks, They could be really severely hit. The property industry would be thinking, why do we need offices anymore? People are very comfortable working from home. It can work. Transport, overseas trips, buses, flights, all this thing, we can see it dropping off by order of magnitude because people have got used to working from home and using this technology. So I think overall, there will be winners too. And I'm thinking, just-in-time supply chains have been shown to be vulnerable. So maybe warehousing will be back in vogue. Tech offices, people like Zoom and Skype and things will be licking their lips at what's been happening in the last 3 weeks in a funny kind of way. But overall, my final message is to all you companies out there that your reputations, your relationships could be ruined or made in the next 3 months. I mean, reputations, relationships with suppliers, customers, and your staff. Now is your chance to prove your worth as a company. So please don't make crass decisions. Think for the future.